welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what is meant by competition ratios. Right, so if you are someone who's going to apply to a competitive specialty, you must be hearing all of these things about competition ratios and stuff, numbers, a lot of things, a lot of information that is put on the NHSC website for everyone to know about competition ratios. And you must be wondering, what exactly does it mean? How does it impact me? And what should I do about it? Right, so before we jump into the competition ratios and I discuss with you what it actually means, what you need to know is that none of this actually makes any impact on your life. And why I'm saying is because when I came to the country, I was told that you will never get into anesthetics because it's too competitive. You are an IMG, so you're already not going to get in, and therefore you should just become a GP. If you are new to the country, you must have heard this as well. If you're a foundation trainee, you must have heard other people saying, oh, I'm going to take an F3 because it's too hard, and whatever they want to go into, and they've seen these competition ratios, and it's a daunting thing to hear. Obviously, if you found this channel, you know that I am in Anaesthetics Training. I am an IMG. I did try and I did get in. So why are we talking about competition ratios in the first place? I'm gonna put up a few competition ratios up in the screens somewhere so you guys can see the numbers, the number of applicants, and because it changes every year, and if there are 2 rounds, then these ratios are going to change for each round. And are you going to keep up with all these numbers? No, that's not possible. So what can you do when you found out a competition ratio for your field? Let's take IMT for example. We have 1600 posts. We have over 4,000 applicants for these 1600 posts, and therefore the competition ratio is 2.45, which isn't that much. On the other hand, we see clinical radiology, where you only have 361 posts for 2,000 applicants, and therefore naturally the competition ratio is 6.18, which is significantly higher. What you need to understand in this process, before I jump into what you can do and cannot do about your portfolio, is that this is a very generic number. How many people have applied? Nowadays, everybody applies for everything. As you must be knowing right now, MSRA is a common exam that everybody takes. And I'm guilty for that as well. When I was applying in the first round for anesthetics, I actually applied to everything. And I'm not going to lie, I even applied for obs and gynae. And did I get an interview? I got an interview in everything. Does that mean I joined obs and gynae? No. So when the competition ratios for obs and gynae is released, my little application is going to be there in that ratio. And same goes for everybody else. There are so many people who are going to apply for the whatever post you want to go for, and it doesn't tell you how many made it to the interview, right? It doesn't tell you how many actually got the post. All it says is how many applications were applied. So how do we know that these 2,000 people who applied for radiology actually wanted to do radiology? No one knows, right? So these competition ratios cannot tell you how competitive a field is. What can tell you how competitive a field is the number of posts. And obviously we can see that clinical radiology has very less number of posts. So naturally you will say, okay, it's a competitive field. The competition ratio doesn't really make any sense because you already know it's a competitive field. The number being high and low doesn't make sense. So anesthetics is a competitive field, getting into cardiology is very competitive if you talk about registrar level posts, and so on and so forth. And therefore, competitive fields are going to remain competitive regardless of the year, regardless of the number of times you've applied, because at the end of the day, it's a competitive field. There is nothing to do with the numbers. People get really obsessed about these competition ratios and start really kind of putting themselves down. They start feeling depressed that they might never get in because, you know, the competition ratio is so high, I'm not gonna get in. No, you should not be thinking like that. What you should be thinking is how you can score the most highest possible score in MSRA, if it's an MSRA based application, which most of them are. Then the next thing you need to prepare for is the interview and your portfolio. That's how you're going to get in. It has nothing to do with how many people have applied and how many people want to get in, because as I said, several people who want to do psych or GP are also going to apply for everything else, right? Why? Because it's the common exams, the MSRA. Why wouldn't you? Like, I'm telling you myself, I did it. I actually appeared in all of the interviews as well. Not because I wanted it. Obviously, I wanted anesthetics, right? But because anesthetics was the last interview for the entire round, I thought, you know what, it'll be nice to go through Teams meetings and do these interviews as a prep. And I'm glad that I did that. But did I accept the IMT post that I got? No. Did I accept the obs and gynae that I got? No. Did I accept the A&E post that I got? No. I didn't accept any of these posts. But if you talk about competition ratios, my application was in the pool. So obviously in the applicant section and number of posts, other people have done the same, and therefore you will have higher competition ratios. If that makes any sense to you, next thing you need to do is how to find out how to prepare your portfolio. So for anesthetics, obviously I'm going to link everything down below. I'm not sure about IMT or A&E or other specialties, but I have a lot of friends now who are actually part of this process, so I might ask them if they could give me details about the links and stuff, where to find. But usually what you can search on YouTube or you can search on the internet is self-assessment score, and you can find out what kind of stuff is required for your required specialty. So for me, why anesthetics is a very big deal, and it's very clear on the ANRA website, which is our website. So I kind of went around my portfolio, and it's not actually, I didn't do much for, because I've been in love with anesthesia for a long time, since my house job. It changed everything. So it's pretty clear from my house job that I loved anesthetics. And even if I talk about it, there's this smile in my face, which cannot explain. I just love anesthetics and ICU. So yeah, basically you'll search on the internet, find the self-assessment score. I will try to link out the basic ones so that you can just go through the links in the description and find out whatever you want to do. Then you're going to plan your portfolio. Then you're going to prepare for the interview, and you're going to get in. And say for example you don't get in the first time, that's fine, that's practice. You apply again. Because trust me, and I cannot emphasize on this enough, do what you love. Because nothing else matters in this world except the thing you love or the person you love or whatever. Because at the end of the day, being a doctor is tough, right? Being a GP, psychiatrist, radiologist, anything, it's tough. It's not easy, right? Why would you give up something that brings a smile to your face just because of a competition ratio? I go through these national interview training kind of stuff, and every year I learned something new, and this year the topic was competition ratios, and I felt like, you know what, this needs to be clarified. People need to know that competition ratios mean nothing. All it means is that a certain number of people apply and the number of posts are less, and therefore the ratio is high. That's it. All it tells you is that there's a very less number of posts. It doesn't tell you the quality of applicants that applied. And as I said right now in this video, I applied for everything because the MSRA was going to apply for everything. So I was like, hey, why? Why not? Practice. And this is what I would say. Even if you're thinking about taking an F3 year, absolutely fine. I totally support it. I took it. But still apply for training. I didn't make it. I was sick with COVID, so I couldn't sit and take the interview. But if you get an opportunity, take it. Even if you want to have an F3 year, that's fine. Just have a go at Oreo. These daunting applications, this timeline, these forms, create this sort of mindset of fear. And the more you fear something, the more it's likely to not happen for you because you're fearing it. And therefore, my advice from this video is to please not think about competition ratios. What you need to think about is the MSRA. You need to think about your self-assessment score, how you're going to ace the interview, and then just relax and see where you rank. If you rank very low, you can find out how to rank higher. They give you feedback. You will know where you rank. So everything can be improved upon once you've gone through a cycle. But telling these numbers or going through these abstract things isn't going to help. So if you're going to be applying for the next round that's coming up, please don't think about the competition ratios. Think about the things that I've told you and focus on those. And I will link all of the videos down below, and I'm going to do some more MSRA videos as well because I've received good feedback. I do appreciate the feedback, so do give feedback regarding my videos. And I'll try to focus more on how to get you guys understanding the MSRA exam, because if you ace that, you're highly likely to get an interview. And from there on, if you love your field, you are going to get in. I hope this video gives you some form of calm and peace, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.